Are you all ready to watch Usher take the stand in the trial involving Diddy? Because word on the street is that he's one of several people who got called to testify about what actually happened to him at Diddy's flavor camp for kids.
I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation...
It gets even more intense, guys. There's supposedly a recording from Kim Porter that's going to shock us all, and it's expected to be played in court. What does she know? What did she see? If this is true, why did she keep these recordings? Was it for protection, insurance, or just to have proof if things went wrong? Let's be real. Kim was there through some major moments in Diddy's life. So, if anyone had the real inside story about Diddy and Usher, it would be her. This trial already feels like the start of a Netflix documentary, and we're just in the first episode. So, let's jump right in. People close to the trial have said Kim had video footage of Diddy from when they both worked at Uptown Records. Since this case began, it's been clear Diddy likes to record everything. While going through security videos from Uptown Records because she suspected Diddy might be cheating, Kim supposedly found footage of Diddy and Andre Harrell being intimate. Kim didn't expect to find this, but she did. From what I've heard, she kept the recordings. Kim was reportedly upset when she asked Andre about it and he denied everything. Then she allegedly found even more shocking videos, this time of Diddy and Usher involved in something private. According to parts of Kim Porter's unpublished book, Usher's mom confronted Diddy about being close with Usher after learning about what was happening. Why she didn't do anything after that, no one really knows. Here's something strange. Before Kim died, some people broke into her house and stole only her laptop. Could the videos of Diddy with Andre and Usher have been on that laptop? Does that sound like a random burglary or a planned cleanup? Who breaks into a celebrity's place just to take a laptop? No money, no valuables, just a quiet data theft? That doesn't seem like a robbery. It sounds like a mission. Rumors say that the stolen recording will eventually be used in court. Usher's name has come up several times with Diddy. Usher was first signed to Layface Records as a young teen and was put under Diddy's guidance. Usher's mom said she didn't know much about Diddy back then but trusted him to mentor her son. Usher moved to New York to live with Diddy. She also mentioned that when Usher hit puberty, he lost his voice and record labels lost interest. Diddy promised to take care of him, asking only for her trust. Usher has said his mom didn't know the full truth, that more than music was going on at the flavor camp. He described what he went through living with Diddy as shocking. Usher also said he would never let his own child go to the flavor camp under those conditions.
I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about it.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid?
Usher was also asked about his time at Puffy's flavor camp during an interview for Essence magazine. He admitted that a lot actually happened there. According to the article, he seemed pretty calm when talking about other things like his plans to work on movies, release a new album, and start business projects. He said something interesting. I'm a businessman before anything else. He mentioned people like Martha Stewart, Russell Simmons, Sean Puffy Combs, and even 50 Cent, with G-Unit as examples. They all built big brands through licensing, and he wants to do the same. Clothing and shoes are common in this world now, so he's trying to find a fresh way to approach it. But when the interviewer asked about his time with Diddy, Usher got uncomfortable and just said, I want to save some for my book one day. He hinted that a lot of sexual things went on there. Honestly, we get it, Usher. Usher's name has popped up in several lawsuits, so it wouldn't be surprising if he ends up testifying in court. For example, Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy mentioned Usher. Rod claimed Diddy bragged about hooking up with a famous artist who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Dawn Richards' big lawsuit against Diddy also mentioned Usher. She said Usher, along with Neo and Jimmy Iovine, witnessed Diddy allegedly attacking Cassie. According to her lawsuit, in the weeks before the Bad Boy Interscope deal, Diddy had many meetings with Jimmy Iovine, who was then CEO of Interscope Records. One time, Diddy hosted a dinner in West Hollywood, and Dawn Richard and another woman, Miss Harper, had to attend. Usher, Neo, and Iovine were there too. During the dinner, Diddy and Miss Ventura argued loudly. Diddy whispered angrily and punched her in the stomach, causing her visible pain. Miss Clark had to help Miss Ventura leave while Diddy stayed and kept socializing. Besides the lawsuits and what Usher said himself, people like Gene Deal have expressed confusion about why Usher still praises Diddy, but many from back in the day know what really happened to him.
Let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that you gonna give him a pass?
Have you ever noticed how uneasy Usher looks whenever he's around Diddy? Especially when Diddy says some pretty suggestive stuff. For example, just watch how Usher reacts when Diddy tells Kevin Hart about how they used to wake up together.
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early.
There was also a moment when Diddy was praising Usher, calling him fly, and he even mentioned Usher eating cereal in his kitchen.
Yeah, I was so mesmerized, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just so blown away by the stamina, the connection, being able to be connected, that along with so much, you had like so much, all those dance numbers and all that. Take your time with it. Breathe it in. Yeah, they all when you go see the views. This ain't for nobody else but you. You take your time, boy. I see you. Fly ass fucking doing Vegas. You in the kitchen. Eating all my cereal. Man, you doing Vegas in a pink suit.
If Usher was really subpoenaed to testify, it wouldn't come as a shock. But what's interesting is whether the defense might bring up some of his own controversies. There have been past accusations against Usher that could definitely come up, especially claims about him allegedly passing STDs to several people. You might remember a case from a few years ago when a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with a Jane Doe and a John Doe, sued Usher. They all claimed to have had relationships with him and said he put their health at risk by not informing them about an alleged herpes diagnosis. They were asking for damages, but the details weren't made public. One of the women, who didn't want to be identified, said she had been with Usher at least twice. Afterward, she tragically lost her twins, which was directly linked to her having the infection during pregnancy. On top of that, there was a John Doe who said he met Usher at a spa in Koreatown, Los Angeles, and ended up unknowingly getting infected. These claims add a lot of complexity to Usher's public image and could definitely be used in court if things get messy. Then there's an old story that popped up about Usher being too comfortable at a gay club. According to someone who was there after one of Usher's performances, he and a group of people were hanging out in his dressing room drinking champagne. Someone suggested they all go to a club, and they ended up at a popular gay nightclub, not because they were specifically looking for one, but because most of the group were gay and wanted to go somewhere familiar. The source said Usher got into a deep conversation with an older man at the club, so close that it looked like they might start kissing. At first, the witness was shocked, but then figured, this is Chelsea, so anything goes. When asked if Usher enjoyed himself, the source didn't hesitate and said, I know he did. These kinds of stories, whether true or exaggerated, could definitely come up in a courtroom and make things even tougher for Usher. With cross-examinations known to be brutal in high-profile cases, Usher will have to be ready if he actually takes the stand. The defense team won't hold back, and these personal allegations might be pulled up to shake his credibility. Meanwhile, there's a lot of talk about Kim Porter, Diddy's late partner. People are saying she might have left behind some important evidence, like recordings or even a manuscript, before she passed away. Her house was broken into under mysterious circumstances, and the only thing stolen was her laptop. That has led many to believe the break-in wasn't random, but a targeted attempt to grab information. Kim was known to be careful and smart, so it's rumored she didn't keep everything in just one place. Some say she started sharing parts of her story, including audio and video recordings, plus unpublished writings with close friends and family before she died. So, what if someone has been quietly holding on to all that material? What if it's already in the hands of the prosecution or someone involved in the case? That could change everything. Keep watching this space for all the latest updates on the trial, and tell me what you think about the possibility of Usher's recordings being played in court. Do you think it will change how the case unfolds? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.